Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 3. So, you guys might hear my dog in the background, just so you know, she's staying with me tonight, and she is in the corner. She was just snoring a couple times right before I started recording, and I was like, oh, yep, they're probably gonna hear that, so I should probably say something. That way you don't think it's me farting or something. She sounds like a little piglet sometimes, but she's adorable. Anyway, last episode we lost Star, which is very unfortunate, but she went down like a G. She managed to set her quirk to cannibalize, which basically as soon as he took it, it started eating away at all of his quirks. He couldn't even pass it on. In the end, it ended up cannibalizing itself as well. So this super powerful quirk that was all part of All for One's plan, get this one and Midoriya's, and then I'm God, essentially, is no more. So I mean, he can still take Midoriya's and still be extremely powerful, but yeah, one of All for One's plans finally foiled, and I think this is something that it seems like he's always a step ahead. It seems like he always knows what's happening, almost like he can see the future. But I think this proves that he can't see the future, right? I've always speculated, like, can he? But I think he's just really smart, like, really good at analyzing the way things in the world would work if he does certain things in a certain order, right? He knows how people will respond to it and everything. That's how in the prison, with no information being sent to him, assuming that there wasn't a connection between like the part of him in Shigaraki at that time, maybe there was, but how he knew like everything in prison already that was going on in the outside world. But maybe now that we know that there's that connection between the two, maybe that's how he knew. So either way, I'm looking forward to seeing where we move on to next. It seems like the kids have a little bit more time before the big battle starts, so they're going to be training up and everything. I was saying last episode how I'm looking forward to training. I'm not one of the people that hated it in, what was that? That was season 5 when we had like the first half of the season be training. I actually really liked it. So I'm looking forward to whatever they send our way this episode in terms of training. So let's get started, shall we? All right, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. A little bit of recap. They went pretty ham last episode, so I'll give them a break. All right, wasn't too bad of a recap. I'm looking forward to watching to some reactions of those first 2 episodes, but I don't think I haven't really looked. I've been kind of busy recently, but at least on my YouTube feed, I haven't seen any of the usual reactors I watch have their episodes up yet. But a lot of them that I watch dub, so I don't even know if the dub is out for this yet. Knowing the dub, it's probably like one episode is out. Like maybe this week the first dub episode's out or something. I don't know. Or they're keeping up. I have no idea. Interesting with Bakugo standing on like a pile of hands or fingers. Huh. Reach for the heavens like every other anime character. Oh, he is not happy. Is his chair just, like, attached to his back? Oh, it's like floating with him. Interesting. Must be some kind of quirk doing it, I imagine. Hmm. Damn him not being more upset about losing to order. Just accepts it and looks at the positive. How dare he? Hmm. That was Invisible Girl's gloves, and obviously looked invisible. Is Hagakure the spy all the since the beginning? We've had this whole, like, who's the spy, right? Nice. Some crazy training. Or is the show misleading us with that scene? But that'd be weird to do. Oh shit! He's like chain reaction detonating. That's cool. Leaving some sweat behind. Nice. Ah. Doing both at once. I know he's been doing both at once, but not like super actively. He's just still picking his hairballs. That old nutsack. Yeah. Him and his scorched hair again. Friends. Hagakure has kind of been like we always have these scenes with all the kids and their training, and we've seen her get a couple special moves, but not too many. She has been kind of the least developed one out of all the class, I feel like. My dog, I'm sorry. She's so loud. Hmm. Maybe she's looking for the people? Oh. Huh. So maybe cutting to her was a red herring. We didn't see him at all, like, last season, or not much last season, right? Well, the fact that she's thinking this makes me believe that she's not it now, though, but... Hmm. Taking a quirk from him. Are they implying he was quirkless before, and they got a quirk from... Interesting. That's why he said he was always different from everyone else, because he was quirkless, not because he couldn't control his quirk. Damn. Uh-oh. Did he hear? Well, damn! Yeah, we never had a scene from him. That's what I was trying to say before about him not really being in the last season. Yeah. Midoriya gonna try to save him? Maybe? Damn. Oh shit! Can't stop twinkling. The villain. You buy another one? Jeez. He doesn't even care. Yeah, he was quirkless, okay. Thought he was a butler. He kind of looks like a butler. Thought it was like his mom and a butler. Well, damn! They tricked me with that damn Hagakure shit. I was like, oh yeah, it might be her. So is he gonna... He said just like, you know... I wonder if one of his other branches is just reaching out. Danger sense? Oh shit! She redirected it! Oh, we see a little bit of her outline. That was first. Well, it showed it a little bit earlier, right? So many tears. Black whip 'em all. So many tears. Well, shit. Alright. Oh, damn, he's in like a restraining suit. Yeah. It's a tough call on what to do with him. Like, he's a kid being manipulated, but obviously can't just let him run free. It is a really shitty... Because the parents kind of pushed that on him, right? He was too young to make that choice. She is snoring away. The cheese. Of course. They did make that episode feel very ominous, right? Like, it ended up being like a silly thing, but a lot of things you're thinking like, oh, is there something up with Aoyama in that episode? And now here we are. I wonder if they knew when they had that scene that it was going to go this route. Damn. Hmm. Huh. Damn. Have him report that they're going somewhere and like lure him out, maybe. Well, damn. Gave me like chills at the end when they all realized like what Midoriya was thinking. Props to Midoriya for like, yeah, everyone kind of wanted to just lock him up and throw away the key, it almost seemed like, right? And deal with the problem after we deal with the all for one problem, right? But Midoriya thought of a way that he can turn it around and help because he sees the good in people and everything, whereas a lot of the adults are just like, oh, well, he's a bad guy, that's it. Well, damn, that episode took a turn that I really didn't expect, but I liked it. Like, and it kind of makes sense because they've been setting that up. They had the cheese episode, which was kind of ominous, you know, like the way they made it almost seem like Aoyama was a bad guy in that episode, but then they turned it around. But then they had the whole conversation about them being similar, and like they made all these comparisons between the two of them back then, and now it's all being tied in with him being quirkless before. That's it, guys, for episode 3. So I wonder, like, with that being the case, if they are gonna try to like lure him out or whatever they're gonna use Aoyama for, I wonder if this is gonna be, if we're gonna be going right into this, right? It seems like they're like, oh, we have a week to prepare, but maybe instead of a week to prepare, it's let's bring him to a point and try to fight him now, right? Like maybe they can, I don't know what their plan's gonna be. They gotta be, because if they say like, oh, the heroes are gonna be somewhere, if Shigaraki isn't ready yet, right? If he's not 100%, if that week isn't up yet, there's no reason for them to go yet. So that whatever it is has to be good enough to lure them out before this week is up, right? So, I guess we'll see. Unless they are just gonna try to wait until I don't know. I'm just gonna have to wait and see what they plan, because I there's a bunch of different directions they could go with it. So, but yeah, like I was saying, they kind of prepped this. It feels fitting. Like, and the funny thing is they baited us with Hagakure, because we had that scene with All For One being like, oh, I have all kinds of pieces or whatever, and then it like cut to Hagakure, and I was like, well, wait, what? But then I thought about it, and I was like, she is probably the least developed character. It was cool seeing a bit of her outline this episode. I've always wondered what she looks like. I imagine that'd be anybody that has the power of invisibility who's just permanently invisible. I'd be like, what the hell do they look like? I remember I watched a reactor a long time ago who said they want to like paint on their face to try to like draw a face and get like a rough idea of their face shape and figure out what like Invisible Girl looks like. But yeah, they kind of baited with that, but it's fine. I mean, it did end up, at least it was Invisible Girl that was watching what was going on, but it's interesting that they, at the same time this was happening, All For One was talking about, or like they were talking about, what if it doesn't go your plan? Like what if they stop reporting back to you and stuff? It like, I don't know if that was just coincidence, or did All For One already know that this was happening? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see if he's ready for some kind of trap, right? Like maybe he already has an idea that Aoyama has been outed and stuff like that. But yeah, so he was the one behind the USJ, the training camp, and they couldn't do Camino because he wasn't able to, like, he didn't reach out to them at that time, so they weren't able to contact him and warn him. So I like that they covered all those bases and they wrapped that, like, mystery, that's been a mystery since the beginning. Like, that's such a long time, like, pretty much the beginning of the show. We were like, okay, who's the person that is telling them this stuff? And for a while, I thought maybe it wasn't even a spy at all. I thought maybe it's just a quirk that All For One has, is he's able to, kind of like how he has a search quirk now. He didn't at the time, but maybe he had another quirk that was similar, where he was just able to find people. And it's like, okay, well, you can think that it was a spy or whatever, but it's also possible that he just has a quirk that can find people. But nope, it was a spy. It was Aoyama the whole time. Damn. And, I mean, that's the thing, is talking about it, go into why he's a spy, and it sucks because it's his parents' fault, right? They didn't want their son to be quirkless, and they heard of this All For One guy who can give out quirks, so they got a quirk from him, and then, that put them under his thumb, and they saw what happened to the people that didn't listen. They all died, and then Aoyama grew up and learned that he was a spy, essentially, and had to go with it, or else his family would get killed, or he would get killed, or all of the above. And this was all just forced on a child. It's not like Aoyama made this choice. So, like Midoriya said, like the cheese and saving Bakugo, or trying to save Bakugo, and all that stuff going on. I guess he did save the other two, right? Because he coughed up, and Bakugo got taken, but we saved. It was either, I don't think it was Todoroki in the ice, or not the ice, but Mr. Compress's ball. I think it was Tsukuyomi or whatever, right? I can't remember his actual name. Why can't I remember his actual name? Crap. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. I think it was him that was in it, and so he did save one and almost saved a Bakugo. So, but yeah. So I mean, I definitely feel bad for Aoyama being put in that position. Like the waterworks were a little much. I mean, the show has always been very dramatic with the waterworks, but with like every character in that scene. But I mean, it is an emotional scene. Like they've been through a lot together, so I can understand being sad. It's like a lot of the times I can understand the tears, and I do understand this one, but it felt like so much more than it needed to be, I guess. But it's fine. It didn't really bug me all that much. Like I said, there's a lot of crying in this show, and it never really has bugged me too much, but yeah, there was something just like almost taking me out of the scene because it was like almost comical a little bit in this one. But I love it in season 1 when Midoriya is, going through these things, like thinking he's never gonna be a hero and all this, and he finally does, and he goes through the training and all these just like different emotions going through him, and he's young and everything. So I really love it back in season 1, but yeah. Anyway, we saw them training a bunch. We got to mainly, like, I think the big thing was Bakugo, for me, being able to, like, send out his sweat and then detonate and, like, do chain reactions, right? Like, because his sweat is, like, nitroglycerin, so there's no reason it can't, like, separate from him and then explode or anything, right? So it's cool that he can, like, detonate, and then that detonation causes another detonation, that detonation causes another one, and just chain reaction cluster bombs them. So it's really cool. It's gonna be give him maybe some extra range and utility in what he's doing. We have seen him do that before, right? Where he threw his sweat on someone. I think that happened in the movie, so I guess that's not canon. But he threw his sweat on someone, and then Todoroki used his fire to light it, right? And then it exploded. So I like seeing him. I've always liked, Bakugo's always been super smart with the development of his powers and everything. So, but anyway, great episode. Spy is out. I feel bad for Aoyama, but hopefully he can maybe redeem himself a bit if he can manipulate All For One to going to a certain spot and whatnot. So we'll see how that all works out. But I'm excited, and I mean, like I said, if I'm not sure if that's going to happen right away, but if it does, that means we saw them training a little bit, and that's all the training we get. I wonder how many people last episode like freaked out. I bet. The sad thing is I bet there was a lot of people that freaked out, and I mean, I could still be wrong. Maybe there's still going to be a lot of training, but I imagine there were a lot of people that freaked out, like, oh great, we're going to have more training. This sucks, And I'll love it if we get like a few seconds of it here in this episode, and then that's it. Now we're moving on. It's going to be so funny, but we'll see. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. Links in the description below. You can get early access to my other shows. Not this one because I watch it as it airs. But my other shows have early access. And I have Patreon shows on there, which are shows I watch the entire show on my Patreon before releasing it to YouTube. So there's all kinds of stuff on there. Check it out. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.